So I salute hip hop and everybody from y'all, the informatives of the information station, as I would say it.
Yeah.
You know, from you guys having interviews, because without you guys, nobody gets to have the identity of the artist. Continue doing your thing, man. Keep these platforms going.
Changing of the hip hop guards. Y'all are the guards. Let's make it happen, y'all.
Yeah, welcome everybody to the Changing of the Hip Hop Guards podcast. I'm your host, the journalist Sincere. That's my co-host, Uncle E. And tonight we have the pleasure of talking with the Money Boss players. We have Minnesota and Eddie Chiba. Thank you guys so much for joining us this evening.
Absolutely.
No problem, pleasure
to be here.
Yeah, we feel like, you know, throughout the years, magazines and other platforms wasn't able to properly tell your story. So we're glad to have you guys here to give us some history and work our way up to currently what you guys have going on in 2022. For everybody who may not know, may not be familiar, may have forgotten, take us back to the origins of Money Boss players. Namely, where were you guys born and raised?
All of us was born in the Bronx, New York. Me and Tariq and Big I and C-Dub were from Soundview, and Eddie Chiba and Trey Bag was from the more senior section of the Bronx, like the Grand Concourse and Webster and all that, Sheridan Avenue.
Can you take us back to days in the life, teenage years of growing up in that area?
Well, you want to go first, Chief? You got it, or you want me to launch?
You go first.
Well, shit, man, I grew up in the 80s, height of the crack epidemic, and didn't know I wanted to do music, but ended up knowing that I was going to do music after I heard a group out of New York called Mob Style. They were the first East Coast hardcore group. And when I heard them, that was it. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to do music, you know? So this is how it went. First, I was our little crew that was doing the wrong thing in the projects was called the Money Boss Players. But since we were getting into music now, we struggled with trying to find a name. So first it was called the Four Better Crew, which was me, a guy named Baby J, and Lord Tariq and DJ Triple C. So after the Four Better Crew, we transitioned to Larceny Incorporated, which was just me and Tariq. And then after that, we switched to our street crew name, which was the Money Boss Players. But by this time, we had enlisted, it was 3 groups in the Money Boss Players. So it was a total of 6 guys who were the artists. So it was me and Tariq was Larceny Inc., Eddie Chiba and Trey Bag, which they're Boss Money now, but at that time they were under a different name. And C-Dub and Big I. Right. And C-Dub and Big I, which was Q&A, questions and answers. So that was the group. So just to kind of bring you up to speed, there was a point in time where we had stopped doing music for years, all of us, everybody in the group. And
not everybody.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're right.
I always keep my feet wet, man.
Right.
I'm always doing something, man.
Right.
A feature, something, man.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it, man.
Something.
So really, if it wasn't for Ed and Trey, there would probably be no Money Boss Players, because I stopped producing for 16 years.
Why so long?
You know, when you enter into the music industry, like I understand something now. You do your music, you do your work, you go home. You don't get friendly with the other artists, you don't hang around them. There's too much weird shit going on. And then not only that it's weird shit, you're dealing with harsh businessmen. After you conduct your business, go home. I don't want to hang out with nobody. I'm over the celebrity shit. I don't want to be like, yo, I'm cool with so and so. I don't care. Pay me my money, and I'll go back to my civilization. You know, so
Right.
that's it. But it had got so weird for me as the producer, because kind of like when everybody was kind of like going through bumps and bruises, I was the one that was moving because I was still the beat man. So I got to work with a lot of people, but I got to see a lot of angles that I just didn't like, you know?
Right. Take us back to the years. What years are we talking about? Give us a time frame of the three separate groups of 6 individuals.
Well, shit, Chief, what was it? Was it 1992 that we really started fucking with this?
I want to say I came home from down south in 91, sloped out in 92.
Yeah.
I want to say 92, 93.
Yeah, 92,
No,
93.
92, we started going hard with this shit. By 93, Money Boss Players was putting out, we was putting music in the streets on mixtapes and shit. Prior to that, Tariq was like the front man, because he was killing
Tariq
everything.
was definitely one man, yeah.
Tariq was killing everything. So prior to like us as a group putting music out, it was Tariq really, because Minnie wasn't really rapping on nothing yet. And I say 92, 93. That's a fact.
So Eddie, where do you find yourself prior to the Money Boss Players forming? Like, were you already aspiring to be an artist, or was it just as soon as you clicked up with them?
I was doing my thing. I was always rapping by myself since a little dude, because my uncle had left a tape in my crib. I think it was KRS-One. He left an old KRS-One tape in my crib, and I was hooked after that. So I always knew I wanted to do music. I used to run around just singing niggas' raps all day. But I started, my first time like putting something down, I was living on Sheridan when I moved to Sheridan. And I started living over there. DJ Charlie Chase, one of my homeboys, he had turntables when we was a kid, like little spoiled dude, you know what I mean? He had Technique 1200s when niggas was in junior high school and shit like that. You know what I mean? I used to be at his crib. He keep the record looping and shit. Niggas rapping. I'm watching all the older dudes. That's when I really knew I wanted to get involved. And when I started first laying shit down, I wouldn't say I was doing it with I moved down south when I was like 13, and I made my first demo down there. And you couldn't tell me shit. When I came back, I thought this shit was gonna happen overnight. You know what I mean? And that's when I started fucking with Charlie. Shit got a little better. We started doing mixtapes. Minnie got hurt. My cousin, me and Minnie is cousins. When he found out what was going on with me, little cuz, that's how I got recruited into the Money Boss Players.
Okay.
Me and Trey Bag, we was a group before that, but I'm telling this shit not in chronological order, but kind of in chronological order. When me and Trey Bag hooked up, we was from the same neighborhood. So when I used to do shit in Charlie Chase's house, Charlie Chase, he a DJ. So you'll go in his crib, he'll have a beat, you'll lay something down, you'll come back next week, it's 3 other niggas on the record. You know, he shit. Trey Bag used to end up we clicked. That shit was like instant. We the same sign. We like 2 weeks apart. Like talking to the same. It's like talking to yourself sometimes. You know what I mean? we argue over stupid shit all the time because it's like I'm talking to myself.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We've been tight ever since. Once I found out who he was and he found out who I was, we started making music together. Then he found out we was rapping. We was Money Boss Players after that. All that other shit we was doing, nah, y'all niggas down with Cuz. And then when I found out Tariq was down with Minnie, we was like, because we looked up to Tariq, we was the youngest dudes in the group, you know what I mean? So when we found out we was down with Lord Tariq, that shit was like, what? Nigga, we down with the nicest niggas in the Bronx. That shit gave us a lot of confidence.
Right.
It gave us a lot of confidence. You know what I mean? Was no looking back after that.
Now you're talking about the Charlie Chase? Cold Crush
Talking about
Brothers,
DJ
Charlie Chase?
Nah, my man, I don't know,
okay.
not Cold Crush, but another
Okay,
DJ
okay.
Charlie Chase from the Bronx. He put out a lot of mixtapes back in the early '90s and shit.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay.
A lot of that old music is still on SoundCloud. So if you go put it in, DJ Charlie Chase, no spaces in it. There's two middle fingers up with white gloves. You could hear all of those old mixtapes when I was younger destroying shit. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Now, at this time, are you guys doing demos or are you strictly the independent route, pressing up hand to hand?
Independent.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me redo that. Not at this moment. We're going back. Early days. Are you guys shopping the demo then and then pressing up? Are you shopping labels at that time?
Well,
we did white labels first. Back when we was with when we had Section 8,
right.
Ghetto Chronicle Daily, classic shit, Minnesota produced and shit. My man Tony B, and that was fire. But we did white labels back then. We record stores, and you know, man, direct to consumer and shit.
And the crazy thing is, one of the ways that the record had got all over the world. Soon as we got them pressed up, when we got them in our hand. Now, we only had 1,500 copies of Ghetto Chronicle Daily pressed up. We immediately went to a DJ convention, and when we went in the DJ convention, there was DJs from Germany, Ireland, Nova Scotia, Canada, England, Africa, and they rushed us, and they emptied out the box. So the record, this is how it becomes a cult classic, because we were doing what Wu-Tang was doing. We didn't know what the fuck we were doing. Let's just say that. And we thought we did a great deed by giving it the record out to everyone.
Learning on the job.
Yeah.
So I was just saying we was learning on the job.
Yeah, so we just was learning as we went along. We wasn't really stressing record companies and you know, it's cool. You know, we had meetings with everybody, but the word got around that, yo, those guys are tough. And what I mean by tough is we were just like, yo, pay us. We were all freshly coming out the street. And we had one meeting with Leo Cohen up at Def Jam. And I'm not going to say how the meeting ended, but I said to Leo, yo, you want, and this time we're like 20 years old. We're young because Eddie and them got down with us when they was like 17, 18, maybe even 15, 16. They was young.
Yeah, I would say I was about 15 years old.
Yeah.
They were
very
92. Slope died
right.
in 92. I was 15. I was like 15 coming up on 16.
Right. And he rapped so good, it was like, yo, I got to get him on the joint when I heard what they were saying. Because if with the Money Boss Players music, we are from the street, but we always gave you the street in a warning type of way. Like, don't go get your stupid ass killed. You know what I'm saying? We always get, if you listen to our records, they sound crazy, but when you really listen to what's being said, it's like Melly Mel and them on the message. It's like all our music is like a continuation of the message. It's like, don't go that way, stupid. The police is over there. Right. You know what I'm saying? So back to the Leo Cohen meeting, I remember saying to him, you know, we thought we were grown back then. I said, you want 8? I said, yo, you want 8 grown men to split 49 cents? You know, so it didn't end well. The meeting didn't end well, but no, looking back, translating what he said to us, he was like, look, basically, I'm gonna jerk you. You're not gonna get no money off of your music, but you will always be in a position to be around rich people, and maybe you could get rich doing something else, but you're not gonna get rich over here. That's that's layman's terms of what he said. He said that shit eloquent. He said it so eloquent, it was nothing like that. It was like when Bill Gates was at Innovation to Zero, and he said we need to kill 7 billion people, but it didn't sound like murder. You know, so he said eloquently. It was nothing like what I just said, but that was the brunt of what I heard. And being young at that time, I was like, man, fuck you. You know, So we all were doing little different things to have income that might not have been, you know, up on top of the table. But at that time, you know, it wasn't like we were sitting there thinking about, you know, getting jerked.
Right.
We wasn't with it.
Now, was Ghetto Chronicle Daily out at this time? Is that what got Def Jam's attention, or is this before that?
Yeah, Def Jam, yeah. Ghetto Chronicle Daily was out. The thing that really got Def Jam's attention was you had we were rhyming on mixtapes. And unbeknownst to us at that time, the whole fucking world was listening to mixtapes.
Right.
So in our head, we thought nobody was hearing us. There was no internet. We didn't know that doo-op's fucking tapes were going all up and down I-95 from Florida to New Hampshire. We didn't know that.
Wow. Right. That makes sense, though.
Now, Lord Tariq was one of the first artists on mixtapes, right?
Yeah, yes. Him and yeah, he started on Triple C, and once Triple C was the first DJ doing mixtapes outside of with an artist performing on it. Kid Capri and Brucey B were doing mixtapes, but it was just their voice and the music.
Mm-hmm.
So Triple C was the first one doing mixtapes with MCs on it. And the way energy worked back then, once people heard that, then everybody started putting their homeboys on mixtapes. And we just happened to have a relationship with Doo-Wop. Well, really, Tariq did, and that was it.
Wow, crazy. Now, you guys ended up landing over with Quincy Jones, is that correct?
Yeah.
Can you take us back to that meeting and what transpired over with Quincy at the time?
You want to do it, Chief?
Nah, I don't really remember and all that shit. I just remember because we had like 3 record deals. You know what I mean? That was our first deal. The signed to Quest. That shit was all the way on the West Coast. Me and Bago was the youngest niggas in the group. We ain't get to make no decisions. We just rapping and whatever money we get, we happy. You know what I mean? So
right.
It's like a lot of shit is like foggy from back then. Only thing I can tell you about back then is like the rapping and shit. Like as far as the business went, we was kids. When we got our deal, we didn't even have no real representation. We got a lawyer at the end to sign the contracts and shit. But we finessed this whole shit out as kids. Like we just, you know what I mean? Learning as we go. People probably think we had a big company behind us or something, but nah, we finessed the shit out of niggas for that $500,000.
Right.
So I you know, because you said it was what, like six of you guys all together?
Yeah, it's 6. And
so, 6 right, but at that time when you're talking about like those deals and stuff, how many of you guys were there?
It was 6 on the artistry end and 3 on the corporate.
No, it was 5 raps because many didn't sign as an artist. Many didn't sign as an artist.
Yeah, I let the crew go. I let the crew go first.
Okay, but now was there anybody in particular out of the crew that was sort of?
And then we bought all the music off of Many.
Okay. Was there any particular one that was overlooking, like trying to overlook the business aspect of it? Was there one particular person out of the group?
Yeah, we went through so many different lawyers. I'm trying to think of the name.
At the time.
We had Jay Quattrini and
we had Jay Quattrini.
Yeah, Jay Quattrini and let me see.
After that, I had Matt Middleton. I was with Matt Middleton when we was over Middleton.
Right, and then we ended up with a guy named Jason Boast, who's an attorney. But it was the word had got around the industry that them guys wanted to get paid, and we didn't understand at that time the block game. So when you look at the time of Money Boss, after that you start to see these groups spring up that had similar styles. You know, because it was just motherfuckers wanted their money, man. You know what I'm saying? And we wasn't at that time. We wasn't trying to come in and like go through all the shenanigans, and we just had enough heart and spunk and our own things going on outside of music to be like, look, bro, nah, you're not pistol whipping me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
One thing that we didn't know at that time is the industry is a small place, and the word got around that these guys are difficult. You know, we wasn't just some thirsty fucking artist. Like when we did the deal with Quest, how much was it? $500,000 or 750,000 at that time?
Huh?
Was it
What you
$500,000 or
said?
750,000, Chief? When we did
No,
Quest?
it was like, it was like 475. It was close to that.
Okay, yeah, it was something like that.
It wasn't 500,000. It was like damn near 500,000.
Yeah.
That was a lot of money at the time for rappers, because everybody was trying to lowball a nigga and give a nigga a deuce. No
Right.
marketing money, nothing like.
Right.
Man.
Right. So we ended up with Quest, and the problem that we had with Quest, we got a whole album that was never released that we're gonna release on our own, called Cop and Go. But the problem with Quest was Quest might have been good with an opera singer. They weren't a hip hop label, and they didn't know what the fuck.
They didn't have no rappers over there.
They didn't have
no rappers over there. We was the only rappers over there.
So we thought we would be good. Like
over there.
we had this mentality, like let's go over here and build it up.
Yeah, they had
Right,
Kevin Campbell, Tania, like that and shit. I was already. Yeah, did they? I think they wasn't involved with Crucial Conflict, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Hey, in the middle. I'm on
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. They might have had Crucial Conflict at that time, but they weren't a hip hop label. That's all I'm trying to say, you know. So we ran into that problem over there. You know, our A&R at the time was a indie guy named Mark Prasad, the Prasad brothers. I know they throw parties and stuff like that. That's what they were doing at one time. But that was our A&R, and we had a thing when we were working in the studio, like, yo, it was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. We would kick the A&Rs out. The only guy that we were really tight with during those days was a guy named Matty C.
Matty C, okay.
Matty signed Biggie.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah, Matty always been cool.
Yeah, Matty always a solid goal, you know? So it was just a thing where being calibrated people, I think in doing business, we were looking for that fairness that you would have in the streets. And we didn't get that in the industry. So we clashed with a lot of people being younger at that time and not, you know, and it was a lot of shit that we didn't know. We was learning as we go. So we was hitting bumps in the road, you know?
Right. So you ended up producing an album over there. So what went wrong, and did you get to leave with that music at the time?
Well, yeah, we ended up leaving with the masters. We never turned the masters in, and we ended up leaving because it was things happening where it was like they were slow on paying me, the main producer, and Clark Kent is my buddy. It's my guy. They took $60,000 out of our budget and paid Clark $60,000 for 2 songs.
Oh, wow.
And when we got there, we was like, all right, the label already paid him. So we started recording it. And it was things like, I had the single, right? It was a sample by the Extra Cheese called I Like It. So that was going to be our single. Yo, these motherfuckers went behind my back and had bass players and all this shit whacking the record off. So that was Quest Records. It was that kind of shit going on. Like, underhanded shit, like, yo, this is hip hop, leave it alone. You can't have live at that time. It wasn't about live musicians. They got live musicians coming on and fucking around. It was just a lot of record company shit going on.
Right.
The shit we tried to duck, we ran right into.
Right. So what eventually happened to your time over at Quest? At what point was the point where you guys ended up deciding it wasn't for you and you guys wanted off the label?
Well, shit.
They tried to shiny suit niggas. They tried to throw us in the shiny suits for the I Like It video, and that was last straw.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was
They try to do the
we had the
Diddy, huh?
posters pressed up. This was at the time when everybody was using the yellow and black posters. The street teams was putting the posters up everywhere. They was dope. Like they was the work we had done. It was like niggas knew shit is coming. When they started, we had a treatment for how we wanted the video. They sent us their treatment. The shit was some old, like we on a party bus, remember all that shit. Oh, coin, the shit hit the floor, turn into something. It was some real whack shit to us. Real fantasy shit. Like, come on. And then they tried. Puffin was winning at the time with Mace shiny suit shit. They was trying to follow up. We from the Bronx. They from home. We not doing that, fam. It's even personal. It's like, that's they shit. This is our shit. They ain't want to let us do our shit.
Man.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
We was young.
That's
Like I said, so,
that's honest.
you know,
That's honest.
Me and Bago was the youngest at the time. That rubbed us the wrong way. That totally rubbed us the wrong way.
Right.
You know what I mean? He was with it.
Right. And then the other thing that happened is
we had like some type of counsel. Somebody like, if I had somebody, all of us, because we were so young, and we did this shit ourselves. So if we had somebody there with a voice of reason to be able to say, yo, fam, do that shit.
Stop.
This is why you should do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had that. We felt like we got here on our own. We got our vision. And when niggas ain't see the vision, that shit started getting sour.
Mm.
yeah, we went through the shiny shoe shit. That was crazy.
It wasn't like record labels wasn't finding niggas on mixtapes like they do now. You couldn't just go on phone, spit a freestyle, and the whole world see you and start gravitating to. Nah, you had to do work, fam. You had to be in these clubs. You had to be in different boroughs. Niggas had to be in rap ciphers. You had to know people. Like, this shit was different. This shit easy now for niggas. Everybody, all these kids is getting rich. You see how this shit going?
Yeah.
Way easier, man. We just go labels, take demos. Because labels, nigga, they have a box with niggas' tapes in it.
Yeah.
They used to throw niggas shit in the trash, my nigga. Bird, we used to go in there to those tapes and record over them shits.
Oh wow.
Cause
Yeah,
shits was in the trash all the time.
Yeah, he's not lying.
Word to the mother. So when we started noticing our shits was, you know what I mean? We knew we had something anyway. Cause we used to go to all kinds of and just hang out. I know those days. You know what I mean? We had a couple friends that was interns and shit. So we used to hang out at labels all the time.
Right.
And you see what really go on with the niggas. They don't be dumb, man. So many people think they could. This shit is funny because I started noticing like, well, the money is in the dream. The money ain't in the fucking music, really. It's in the dream. So, you know, people having this dream that they could make it is always gonna bring that dollar. You know what I mean? You just gotta find your avenue for this shit. Because I used to tell Minnie, he do beats. He'll criticize a nigga he do beats for. He'll tell a nigga this shit is whack. You know what I mean? And a nigga paid you for the beat. Keep doing that shit. You gotta just let a nigga have his dream, man. You can't be crushing a nigga dream. Your job is to do the beat, and his job is to pay you to do the beat. You know what I mean? If he never make it, it ain't your job to tell him, yo, fam, you ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? You gotta tell people how they dreaming. You understand that shit? That money you keep coming. You just find a way to get it.
There's a subtle internal, not outward, but there's an internal arrogance coming from the place that made hip hop and seeing it when it was a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I saw hip hop when it was 1 year old. I know what it's supposed to sound like. I know what it's supposed to feel like. I know what it's supposed to sound like. I know what it's supposed to feel like. And you know, in a lot of ways, we weren't industry primed. It was just raw talent, and we came in to make good music. We wanted to make music and make our money, but there was all this stuff in the middle. Like another thing was going on that we didn't know, unbeknownst to us, the block game.
Mm-hmm.
What the block game is from the Money Boss Players, there were other groups born that had nothing to do with us. But the industry saw it like, yo, these guys are so hot on the street and they're going to be hard to deal with and they might beat one of us up. So let's go make something like it. And then you got guys who have careers who've been out for years, but a lot of that energy came off of what we were doing. Like even Biggie. Biggie came off with Lord Tariq because Tariq was really the first one on mixtapes talking about that thing. And at the time, Tim Patterson, who is Puffy's guy, Tim Dog Patterson, he wanted to manage us. So this is before it turned to Money Boss Players. Tariq and them went to do a show, and somebody threw a cup on stage at Tariq and them. And Tariq and them damn sure throw a Moet bottle back in the crowd. So they were like, nah, them niggas from the Bronx is different. You know what I'm saying? So we had a lot of those. We didn't know, like to this day, I'm there for the business, but I'm not bending, bro. I'm not doing nothing weird. Get the fuck out of here. So that weirdness still exists. So, you know, a lot of the times we were difficult. I'm not going to sit here in front because we wasn't with it. We knew what we were doing. We were sure about what we were doing, and that was it. We're not fucking around. You know what I'm saying? And we wanted to get our money and go back to our fucking community. You know? So we weren't controllable. Like we've always had this thing with us where you could be a billionaire. I'm gonna respect you as a man, but you better respect me as one.
Mm-hmm.
You're not sending me to the store for those fucking sugar cookies. And I'm not gonna send Eddie to the store. I wouldn't dare. That's my cousin. He might swing on me.
Yeah. Right. It's a different mentality set, man.
Yeah, you know, so you know, there's that weirdness, and as you can see, the weirdness has grown.
Yeah,
you know, you got guys, everybody's dressed up like Prince in Revolution now, and they don't have guitars. It's so not cool without the guitar, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fairyland now, and I don't got nothing against them, but you know, God bless them. Man. God bless their greedy little hearts.
Yeah.
You know.
Hey, Minister, do me a favor.
I said they need to just create a whole new genre, man. Because a lot of this shit they call rap ain't even rap. They need to just create a new genre and call that shit.
Right.
Whole new genre, man. Because a lot of this stuff ain't hip hop. You know, a lot of this dudes ain't even rap over drum beats really like that no more.
Right.
And fake singing, and that's cool. I ain't taking nothing away from it. The music is great. Like it gives this big feel good stuff like that, but it's not rap. That's all I'm saying. It's not rap.
Right.
The few lyrical dudes we got left, it's in the forefront. You got to be grateful for them dudes. That's all I'm saying. The Jada Kisses, I like Benny the Butcher, them type, like those dudes. You gotta be happy we still got them type of dudes around that's gonna really rap. That's all I'm
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And that's gonna tell you a good story, and that do songs on subject matter, and the chorus go with the rhymes. You gotta be happy for them type of dudes that's still around. You know what I mean?
Right. Money Boss Players is a continuation of Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel's The Message. And what I mean by that is, when you listen to our songs, as street and as hardcore as they may seem, we actually telling you, nigga, don't go that way. That's the penitentiary. In every song, you will not hear us being braggadocious because that's not Bronx culture. Braggadocious is going to get you killed in the Bronx. So I remember being 7 years old and hearing Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel The Message, and I was on the baseball team at Yankee Stadium. And when I got back to my community, after hearing that record, at the tender age of 7, I knew my community was fucked up after hearing that record. It put me on alert. So our music is kind of like a continuation of that because it's very street. There's some raw shit being said, but we're saying, nigga, don't go that way. The cops is that way. You're gonna go to jail for life. So that's what you're getting when you listen to Money Boss Players. And if you're gonna be paying me for my music, shouldn't I be giving you something in exchange? Shouldn't I be giving you saying, yo, this is the way to live life? Don't live like that. Don't do that. Nah, that shit ain't cool.
Right.
Bro, your jeans, even bro, I got some shit that I say on one of my forthcoming songs where I say something about God's got him. You'll never catch me in the jeans with the fag bottom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, and there's no disrespect to that lifestyle.
Right.
But it's just like, what can I
That's not your lifestyle.
Right. Can I say something honest anymore on a record without being targeted or, you know what I'm saying? Like, where is the rap used to be about, I'm telling you something. I don't even like to talk thug shit. I don't like to say anything on a record that I wouldn't want to happen to me for myself. So I'm trying to enlighten and give the game. And when you listen to Chief and them songs, it's the same way. It's like, we will if we have to. Don't bother me. But this shit happened to them because they was doing dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, we got some good fucking projects coming, man. Good.
Yeah, we can't wait.
Minnesota, when you guys were, you know, as far as the group goes and doing your thing and everything like that, were you producing for other artists at the same time?
Yes and no.
Hell yeah.
I would say yeah because I would say first of all, I was in an illegal lifestyle, and the people that walked me into the music game with no hassle was my partner in the illegal lifestyle was one of the Brand Nubian dancers' cousin. And one of the guys that dance for Brand Nubian, his name is DJ Talim.
Oh yeah. That's our man.
Right. So Talim and our truth, they walked me right to Grand Poobah and Sadat, and them guys just took me on. Poobah and Sadat just took me on. They brought me into the game. Like, yo, come on, man. No industry shit, no weirdo shit, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, yo, Eddie, did you get on one of Poobah's old albums? It was a joint we did called a showcase.
I was on probably the first 5 Sadat joints.
Yeah.
Like the first 5 solo Sadat joints on his shits. I don't know if I had the record on Poobah shit that never came out.
Yeah. They embraced us, man. The Brand Nubians.
Fuck with us though. And as a kid, I used to hang in New Rochelle. So a lot of my people from up there was already cool with Poobah and them and shit. So it just came full circle, you know what I mean?
So you said you were friends with Talim's cousin.
Sadat and Bago, we ended up becoming great friends over here and doing a lot of music. He had an album we did together that we just never released called E Pluribus Unum, but he was my guy, you know what I mean? That is my guy. You know?
Right. And now DJ,
that's my guy.
Yeah. Now DJ Talim's cousin was my partner. His name is Oye Negro, Oye Black.
Okay.
And me and his cousin Michael Andrew, you know, we was on the other side of the fence, the non-musical side, you know. Okay. So that introduced me. You know, it's funny how, you know, I believe there's a God. I just don't believe in the gods they give us. But when I look back at my life, I see how I was being guided by something outside of me. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I went through all these hardships, lost my cousin, grinding, hustling on the block, going to war, and I got brung into the game through my partner's cousin, who was a dancer for Brand Nubian. I had the idea that I wanted to do music, but really when it triggered for me was when this group from Uptown, and they were street guys called Mob Style. Once they made their tape cassette, it was cool to do music. It was on and popping from there.
Wow, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, just to let you know, man, like Truth that you mentioned, I went to IS-70 with him in Chelsea. So I know
Okay.
Red from back, in '85. And Talim, obviously.
So you probably knew our cousin.
Who's that?
If you knew him then you probably knew our cousin from there. Slope. From
Probably.
47th Street.
47th and 10th, Hell's
Probably, 'cause
Kitchen.
yeah, that's all around that same time. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's fucking with Cassius and them since the 80s. You know what I mean?
Okay.
In the 80s.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. It comes full circle, man. That's dope. All right. Yeah.
So after the Quest deal falls through, where does Money Boss Player find themselves?
Good question. Chief, I'm a little blurry on that one. That was a
After that fell through, after we left Quest, I want to say shit got cold for about a year or two, and then not even. Yeah, shit got cold for about a year or two, but the name was still popping because Lord and Pete had put that album out, to Make It Rain shit. The high times at the time, the ball got rolling, got the record pushed up. As soon as we getting ready to drop, Loud fold. Once Loud folded, everything Loud went with it. So we got caught in that shit. You know what I mean? And every time some shit like happen, like we for shit, we gonna survive regardless. Niggas ain't hurt for nothing. So every time shit like that happen, it discourage you a little more from getting into this industry shit. So another, we ended up back at Mega Media with Minnesota, Sony Mega Media. Shit going, ball rolling. They pressed the records. We put the promos out. Junior Mafia ended up over there. They come to a session, fuck us one day. We do some records. They came in with Maddie actually. We they meet the guys we done with. They end up at the label. When we put the records out, one side Money Boss, one side Junior Mafia. It's a Money Boss record by ourselves, and the other side is a Money Boss record with Junior Mafia on it called Guap.
Mm-hmm.
The night we put the day the records get released to the radio station, we did the last day we performed in the Roxy, the last day they was open in Manhattan.
Oh wow!
Remember that shit, Minnie?
yeah.
It was like for it was like his birthday or something. It was like memorial. It was a big, like everybody was there. Mobb Deep, fucking all kind of acts. Like it was just crazy.
Right. And what happened
that night? That next morning, Little C's is in the paper. They saying he snitched on Little Kim and shit like that.
That killed
Right
everything.
in the paper, he all over the radio and everything.
That
Now
killed
the records
everything.
that we done just sent to the radio station to get played, nobody
Oh
want to play them
man!
now.
Damn.
We caught in that because one side is Boss Money, Boss, the other side is Junior Mafia. No, we ain't got no real waves at the time.
Right.
That shit got overlooked. We got
Yeah,
that
and
shit.
I would say,
So
one of the other things.
After strike 3 for me, that shit was like, fuck this industry shit. You know, if I do shit, it'll be independent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, man.
We stopped chasing it after that time. And at that time, when everything that went on with C's and Little Kim, they was calling our record label, which our label was getting death threats.
Well,
The guys up at the label, and they some Russian, they seem tough, but they some Russian Jews from Coney Island. Pretty cool guys. But they was like, nah, we ain't fucking with this shit. It didn't have nothing to do with us. So I think, with being guided, we've had a history of the bullshit kind of like knocking the crew down at the last second. So I say you can't brew no fine wine before it's time. because it's similar on the spiritual aspect of it all. It's similar to things that happen. And I mean, we missed some great debacles. We missed some great debacles because I mean, I was with Biggie. We was going to Biggie's sessions with cannons on us because of what was going on with the East Coast. Not that we had anything to do with it, but I worked with Big a lot. So just for our own protection. So, you know, I look at it sometimes like some of the slots that we missed, a lot of shit has happened to the people that went in those slots. So I'm cool with it all, you know?
Right. Man, can you talk a little bit about some of those sessions with Biggie?
Well, I'll say this, man. Big was a good guy. He didn't set Tupac up. And I think what happened is sometime when you are the little guy from the block and you make it and you got the, you know, guys around you and you don't have the power to say, yo, chill, shut that down. Things are going to happen. So sometimes you could be the right person with the wrong people around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you get what I'm saying?
Right. Yep.
So I think that he may have gotten caught up in a little bit of Biggie really has some real wolves in that studio.
Mm.
And I was cool with all of his guys, but it was some real shit. Like, you know, you the rapper. You understand what I'm saying? You making it right for us, but you still a little guy. You know, you can't get too big with so and so. I'm here and that's that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Well, Biggie was cool, man. If you look at the picture for I think there's only 2 photos when we recorded Think Big. Tell me in those pictures if you saw the ball of play of Biggie. It was regular. Right. I'm a regular dude from Brooklyn trying to make it. Right. I got on Uggs, not Uggs, lugs. You know what I'm saying? There was no jewelry, nothing. When we recorded Think Big, he wasn't supposed to be there. We cashed him out under the table. So he came because his thing was, I got to make money. He got a publishing deal and spent all the publishing money. You know how that go. But he really came to the studio, and when he came to the studio, it was because we had gave him a check. So he got the call in the studio that Juicy, the M2 joint, had went gold.
Okay.
And he was hyped up like, yo, it's on now. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So it was pre-baller Biggie.
Right.
It was pre-baller Biggie, you know? So I mean, that's cool. That's what it is, man. You know, that was my man, man. He's a very good guy. But it was kind of that kind of situation going on. But yeah, when he came and he recorded with us, he was just cool with us, man. It wasn't no super duper gangster shit. And I met Biggie. We had a talent show in a spot called the Mars downtown.
Yeah.
Right? And we literally performed on stage with him the first time he ever performed. And he was with my man Matty. He was with Matty C. That was the first time I ever was on the stage, was in Mars. That was the same night Biggie first time ever on the stage in the Mars. And after that, Matty C took him over to Puffy and Tim Dog Patterson and Mark, that's with Puffy and him. Yep.
That's crazy.
So, you know, we knew each other because, you know, back in those days, you had battle networks. You had to go down to Washington Square Park and talk your talk. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that was that, man. You know, and I would say Ed and Trey, they got kind of caught up in our shit because Tariq kind of had like MC beefs with others.
Mm-hmm.
And with his MC beefs with others, it was like, you know how that should go there. That's his crew. Fuck them too.
Yeah. So they got caught up in that.
In a lot of, you know, it was shit. 19. We was doing what the 19 and 20 years olds are doing now without the guns. It was, yo, I'm a better producer than you. I got better beats than you. I got better lyrics than you. So we just did it without fighting and guns. But it was the same nonsense going on, you know?
Right.
After the Junior Mafia thing went left, Eddie Tebow, where did you find yourself musically?
I just started doing a lot of independent shit. You know what I mean? Trying to just stay active. I didn't know if I was gonna keep doing music or not. In 2010, I started putting out my own mixtapes. There's a few of them shit still up on Dat Piff. And Maddie I was fucking with Maddie at that time. They had like a independent radio station down in the village somewhere. What was the name of that shit? Frozen Files. I was going down there fucking with Maddie. He was letting me play my music and shit like that. Right on the, as soon as that shit started getting ready to start picking up, get locked up. Some shit that happened 4 years prior. You know what I mean?
Right.
That shit just threw us off track again. I go to jail. I come home in 2012. My man, Young JB from Take Money. I'm chilling, just trying to get myself back to where I was before I got locked up. I started fucking with him. We ended up putting a street album out, me, him, and Trey Bag, called Money Boss Players. And that's how I really started getting right back into music, like after I came home and shit.
Gotcha.
We put out a few projects. We got a lot of good feedback, but it seemed like shit wasn't going nowhere.
Right.
You know what I mean? So life is real. You know what I mean? That music shit is entertainment. But real life is pay these bills every week. So when that shit ain't paying, you gotta pay them bills every week. And that shit out the studio, you know what I mean? So that's the only thing that's why so many gaps in between the music and shit like that. Because we still live real lives.
Right.
But I try to keep something coming out at least every year or two. Just try to keep something out for the people that do fuck with Money Boss or fuck with Boss Money. You know what I mean?
Right. Minnesota, you said you took a break for 16 or so years. Before that break, can you take us back to some of the placements you found yourself with which artists?
Well, I had I was running hard with Mos Def. Because Mos Def was one of the people that also, like, this is another connection through the Brand Nubian dancers. They had hooked me up with a guy named Truth, and Truth was tight, and he introduced me to a guy named Alyasha. Alyasha was Fat Farm's first designer. He introduced me to, at the time, a guy from Brooklyn named Dante Smith, who was part of a crew called Medina Green.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So later on, he became Mos Def. You know? So I had always known Mos, and placement, going through life. And right before I exited music, I ran with Mos hard for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
You know? So I worked I did 7 on The New Danger, 3 on True Magic, and that was it. That was my departure back into this hellhole called the Bronx, you know?
Gotcha. Can you take us back to the origins? I believe Tariq got with Nas and Jay-Z on Analyze This. How did that come about?
Whoa. Tariq, Peter Guns was ghostwriting, and Peter Guns called Tariq, and Tariq started ghostwriting, right? So with him being down there in Orlando, Florida, working for the big guy, for Shaq, right? They did this record. Dave Atkinson produced the record, and Dave Atkinson produced the record. Come on, stop. This thing has multiple. It's a multifaceted thing that happened. So Shaq does a record with Nas, right? So then Hove comes down. So Big Man, they didn't want to do the record together, so they put Hove on the record, right? And I told Tariq at the time, I'm like, yo, go at Hove's throat. He's gonna try and destroy us. And he did on that record, you know? So they just removed Shaq from the record because it was supposed to be Shaq, Tariq, Nas, and Hov, but they took Shaq off of it, you know, and put it together and put it out. But I had told Tariq, I was like, man, I said, this is your chance. I said, fire first. Tariq got on it on some friendly shit. And if you listen to Hov's verse on there, man, that's a deep verse because everything he said on the record was kind of true.
Yeah.
You got to go back, and I want you to go back and listen to the verse.
Okay.
You know, because that was it was real strong. What was being said on that record. It's a lot of, it was some underworld things being said on his verse, and what he was saying was, just go listen to the verse.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go
And it was
listen to that.
directed at us, not
Yeah,
Tariq.
because slick shit about boss player, you lost player, or some shit right on that record, right?
Yes.
Mm.
And
So he
Tariq
got
came
on that
there.
song. Wow.
Tariq came on there friendly, and I was telling Tariq, bro, this is the one. Nas is on here and Hov. I said, cut both of them niggas' heads off. Cut their heads off. Cut their limbs off. Shit.
That time he could have did it too, because he had the city, he had the streets from the mixtapes, and the shit we was nobody niggas ain't start talking that shit till we started talking that shit. I'm gonna just say it like that. Go through your history. Niggas was not talking that Get Money street shit before us, my nigga.
Right. So listen, right? I'm gonna give you some of
Only
Tariq's.
nigga could say that was talking that shit was Mob Style, and those were some real Get Money street niggas.
Right. So Tariq's original verse that I almost got him to say was so smooth, so slick, so coincidental. I figured him to be a Brooklyn nigga with uptown fundamentals. Niggas talking about they cocaine money so long, meanwhile we just on MCs singing on the song. The rich nigga rap, everybody maintains. Cocaine niggas fronting MCs, watches, bracelets, and chains. So it was supposed to go like that.
What made him change it?
He went friendly, and I think we would have been up in the stars with everybody else if Tariq had just fired a shot. Because I be studying Hov, and I love Hov. Don't get it fucked up. I love him. He saved my life, and I don't know him. If Tariq had fired that shot, it would have been beautiful out here for us, because that was the one. But he was scared to fire the shot. He went friendly, and Hov aired us out on that joint.
So it was just him on his own that was like, nah, I'm not gonna go at him like that. Like he just or was there a reason?
Like, yo, man, he was thinking in a friendly mind, and I'm telling him, be competitive. Because Money Boss, when we do records, we try to outdo each other on the verses. Yep. So I'm like, I was like, yo, that's our thing amongst each other. Friendly fire. When we go into, we try to see who's going to have the best verse, and whoever gets the best verse, we let them go last.
Oh man,
that was our soup always. So I might have the last verse. Chi might have the last. It ain't no nigga that always goes last with us. You know what I'm saying? It might be Big I, might be C-Dub, whatever the case may be. But just to make a long story shorter, on that particular thing, Tariq fumbled the ball on that one. I wanted him to fire.
He decided to play checkers that day.
Yeah, basically. And chess.
Hov played chess, he played checkers. I see. Hey.
And we got to go last.
See, because I was gonna ask that maybe he put his verse down first and then Hov and him listening. You know what I mean? But then, and now you saying he went last too?
Well, he went last
on the record.
Right.
He went last, but heard the verse later. He heard what Hov did to it later.
Okay.
Hov didn't play, because now you're not looking at it. You're the nicest nigga besides Nas and Hov on mixtapes.
Yeah.
It wasn't beef, but you were supposed to abolish slavery on that nigga's head.
Yep.
Like, you wasn't supposed to play with him. The nicest nigga has to be dethroned.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Live and learn.
Like I said, I mentioned earlier, you took a break from music for 16 years. At what point did you decide to jump back in?
Yeah, and
I'm
why?
not. I'm not gonna front, right? Listening to this new crew called Griselda, I like them, man.
Mm.
So to see that it was accepted for some men to be rapping, because for the last years, I mean, music was just it was so disgusting to me. I'm not like I listen to trap music, right? I like some of it,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't play that shit for me. I can't listen to everything. That shit starts to fuck with my soul. You know what I'm saying? So,
The
and
wrong.
on that type of note, like when I heard the Griselda guys, it was exciting to hear some comp. Like, oh shit, I like this shit.
Sound like New York.
Right.
Right.
New York. That's all they upstate. You gotta remember.
Right.
One time when the mixtape era was going on, we let down in the city. We had everything that come out when it come out. They was always 2-3 months behind on music upstate.
Right. Yep.
Man. So when we was on to the next, they was still listening to like
Yeah.
they probably still got Big Mike tapes and shit up there. You know what I mean?
Right.
That ain't a diss.
No.
Saying,
It's just how it is.
rap. That's when you listen to D Block on mixtapes. You
Uh-huh.
listen to Cam and them on mix. That's real rap shit. That's the type of shit they came up with. If you listen to them, it's the same shit they doing. They sound like a version of fucking Mobb Deep or something from the beats that they pick. They use niggas alchemists and shit like that. So that's a New York sound all day. I don't even like to say upstate because that shit is still New York. Niggas
New York sound.
52. New York. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like right now, I'm living in Connecticut, and when I got around, the thing that blew my mind is when I first came up to Connecticut was 2014, and some of the things that I noticed up here was everybody was listening to Rock Marciano. I didn't even know who Rock was. Connecticut people put me on. I'm like, yo, who is this? That shit motivates me. Like just that hip hop shit motivates me.
He's from Long Island.
I love him.
Yeah, he's from Long Island.
It's so many good acts right now being held incarcerated and held hostage on YouTube. Boy, cut that TV off. I'm sorry, my son is get out of the living room.
That's all right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So to hear that was my first reintroduction to real hip hop was Rock Marciano. Everybody, we riding in the car with some girls, motherfuckers are smoking. The girls is in the car singing Rock Marciano line for line, and I'm like,
wow,
oh shit. So it brought me back to something Mos Def told me. He said, be who you are as an artist because there's a whole planet out here. Because when I got with Mos Def, I had a Hot 97 mind state. And I think that we all did because that's what you hear in the ghetto.
Nah, that's what niggas. That's at one time. That's all niggas wanted was a fucking bomb from Flex, nigga.
Right.
You know what I mean? At one time they had the music game radio, and you wanted to hear your shit on the radio going.
Yeah.
You niggas.
So that was the uptown house.
So your mindset was make music that's gonna get me that bomb, nigga.
Get that bomb, yeah.
You know what I mean? You ain't give a fuck what you said, as long as that shit got a bomb.
Right.
Niggas will pump any message.
Right.
You know what I mean? I ain't talking about us, I'm talking about the game as a collective. At that time, you know what I mean?
Right.
So whatever they playing, whatever was getting bombs dropped to it, you trying to make some shit similar or better so you can hear your shit getting a bomb dropped on it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I mean, like that's how I look at it when you say a Hot 97 mindset. You know what I mean?
It is 2022. Eddie Chiba, catch us up on the status of Money Boss Players.
All over the place. We dropped Once Upon a Handshake, which is Minnesota's album that just came out a few months back. It's doing pretty well on the streaming sites and shit. I dropped a few singles. I dropped a Bigger Play Get Your Money Up, Omerta. Got an album for Omerta that's coming too. I just didn't drop it right away because we just started putting music out again. So I don't want this shit to go over nobody's head. When this shit hit, I want niggas to know it's out. You know what I mean? And
Right.
I'm just running around doing a lot of independent shit, shows here and there, pop-ups, whatever we could do to build up this momentum and get the name out there again.
Right. What about you, Minnesota? Catch us up on what you're currently working on with Money Boss Players and outside.
Like Chief said, the independent shit turns out to be wonderful. We have Money Boss Player merchandise at Money Boss Players Online. And we selling merchandise in Germany and Japan like hotcakes. Word. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
I gotta like you said, the streams is doing well. So this is beautiful that this internet thing opened up because we're doing all right on multiple continents and fucking they're playing us on Sirius Radio.
No, it's basically we getting right back in. We trying to get back into it. So, but it's the progress is being made. Everything is coming. You know what I mean? It's coming along. So I want to say next year, shit should be looking much different.
Right.
Much different. And definitely keep your ear tuned for some more music because we definitely gonna bomb on them this summer and put a few videos out.
Right.
Stuff.
Right.
Nice.
Right.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
The Ghetto Chronicle Daily is, from what I'm hearing, fetching for like 300 overseas. Did you guys ever gain control over that situation?
Never.
No.
And guess what? We just re-released it. It's on all streaming sites with an unreleased song. One of the first songs that we kind of ever did is Tariq solo on it, and it's called Drug War Rages. And the song is from 1992. This song predates Ghetto Chronicle Daily.
Right.
This is one of the first songs me and Tariq did together. So we got that one on. And then we got like 3 other joints,
Very dope. Where can the people find that at?
We
So
get
all
that
the
right now on
streaming
all streaming platforms.
all streaming platforms. It's called the Ghetto Chronicle Daily. And my album is called Once Upon a Handshake. And we got a couple of videos floating around YouTube with it too.
Very dope. We got one more question before we get out of here. But before we do that, we want to thank you guys for everything you've done for the culture. Thank you for sticking around and bringing the great music in 2022. Dish it off to my partner, Uncle E, at this time.
Yeah, maybe if, you guys could take turns in answering the question. Basically, hip hop is getting ready to turn 50 years old soon. If you could give me your take or give us your take on, how you feel about that. Are you happy with where hip hop is at its current time, and any other takes you might have.
Go ahead, Eddie.
Yeah, I'm happy you just said that. That shit just felt nostalgic because, like I told you, the reason I became a rapper, my uncle left a fucking KRS-One tape in my crib.
Right.
KRS-One said, "I'm gonna be rocking till I'm 50 years old."
Right.
I say it rhyme. Brand new style, ruthless and wild.
Wow.
I'm watching this shit coming. I'm watching this shit play out, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
You know what I mean? I'm happy to be here, happy to still be able to contribute. Because when I was a kid, he said that shit.
Yeah.
And you don't think
and
that
it didn't even seem like what is he talking about? 50 years. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And he's still running around, doing this thing.
Yeah.
You know? And hip hop about to be 50 years old. That shit is crazy. That shit is great. You know what I mean?
Now pose the question again, one more time.
Hip hop is getting ready.
Again?
So hip hop is getting ready to turn 50, soon. So I just wanted to get, what's your take on that? How do you feel about that?
It's a beautiful thing. It's turned to a thing where it's taking care of so many different families, so many different entities, the business of it. There's certain things I don't like about it. I don't like that people grab the whole of our shit and now you got to dress like a Barbie doll to be the main guy, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm definitely in opposition to it, but, you know, at the good part of it is doing what it needs to do. And thank you to Disco King Mario for starting hip hop.
Okay.
And then on the Mount Rushmore, Bambaataa and Cool Herc. But I want to say it again. I'm gonna say it again.
Go Mario
Hip hop
King.
started on Soundview Avenue and Bronxdale Projects by a guy named Disco King Mario. Everybody seems to forget that.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
Herc is number 2, Bam is number 3.
Right.
Very dope.
I love it. I love what it's doing for us as a people, because it's really like indigenous economics. It's economics for us at this point, you know?
Right. Dope. Before we get out of here, though, can each one of you let everybody know where they can find you, where they can follow Money Boss Players? You know, shout out all your social platforms.
Oh shit, yeah, I got something for y'all. Hold on. Definitely got to do some promotion. Give me
Absolutely.
one second, yeah. Check me out, people.
Oh, look at that.
Check me out, Chibas, man. You know it's decriminalized. It's decriminalized federally now, so we ain't doing nothing illegal out here, man.
Very dope.
Get with me, Chibas. Nassau County Super Rush. You can see me on Instagram at ECBMG1200. My Facebook is Eddie Chiba. My Twitter is ECBMG. My YouTube ECBMG, or just hit the link in my bio on Instagram and go to the link tree. You'll see everything. So thanks for having me, guys.
Appreciate you, Eddie.
Yo, if you need the meds, holla at your boy.
That's really ill though that you got Chiba on there, man. Talking about nostalgia.
Listen, my face is on the bag, fam. My face is on the bag, fam. I'm back in this 100%, man.
Nice.
There's nothing to play with right here, man.
What about you, Minnesota?
Management runs the page for Minnesota_Money Boss. You can find me personally on Minnesota_Money Boss Players. It's Minnesota_Money Boss Players. Once Upon a Handshake, available on all streaming platforms. And there's some hip hop there. We got some videos too. We got some nice little videos on YouTube with me, Eddie, and
go to my YouTube, ECBMG. It's a bunch of videos up there. And all major platforms. Once Upon a Handshake, Omerta, Get Your Money Up, and A Bigger Plate. Check those joints out.
Absolutely.
Very dope.
Thank you guys once again. This has been Changing of the Hip Hop Guards podcast. I am the journalist Sincere. That's my partner, Uncle E. That is Minnesota. And that is Eddie Chiba. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thank you guys for joining.
Thanks.
Absolutely. All right, man. Peace.
Peace.